Hello, welcome back to some 1969 APBA baseball action. Today we have the New York Yankees in Detroit to take on the Detroit Tigers. Friday, April the 11th, 1969. This is the first of a three-game set as they play today, tomorrow, which is Saturday, and then Sunday. The Tigers are, hold on a sec. The Yankees are 2-1 as they took 2 of 3 from Washington, and the Tigers split 2 with Cleveland. So they are a 1-1 here early going in the 1969 season. So always trying to improve the broadcast. So I've been trying to work on the base runners here, and so what I'm doing this game is trying to make them color-coded according to their speed. So I've got green and yellow and red, and so it's kind of like a stoplight. So red is slow or stop, green middle caution, or yellow rather is caution, and then green is go. So fast runners will get the green, normal runners will get the yellow, and slow runners will get the red. So that way you can have an idea of who is on the base paths. So hopefully that will add to the enjoyment a little bit. Also trying to figure out how to get my scorebook in the middle. I like showing that, and because I'm right-handed and the way my computer and camera is set up, I can't figure out a good way to get the camera over on that side. So at this point, we'll go with this, and hopefully at least the base runners will give you a good representation of what's going on in the game, along with all the other strat paraphernalia and stats and baseball cards and things like that. So as usual, I am always open to suggestions and would appreciate them. Might not be able to implement everything, but I still want to know what everybody's thinking. If you're taking the time to watch, I want to try to make it as interesting as possible. So, all right. On the mound for the Tigers, as you can see there, is Earl Wilson getting his first action of the year. He is a BYZ. His master number is a 10, which is actually a high C, or very low B. And he has the L, which is he gives up more than his fair share of home runs. So if we have an L or a double, there is a possibility on a roll of 11 to 22 that would become a home run, assuming the hitter has a 1 on their card. So that's who's going for Detroit. So leading off for the Yankees is Horace Clarke, second baseman. He's off to a good start. He's 7 for 14 here in the early going. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. Again, for me, the most important thing is the cards and the dice. So hold on just a second. Okay, so that's a little closer. So hopefully that will be good. So anyway, Horace Clarke is a left-handed hitter. Wilson's a righty. Actually, Clarke is a switch hitter. Versus righty, he's -6, however, so that will improve Wilson all the way up to an A. So I've had some questions about how I'm doing the lefty-righty splits here, kind of a basic rendition of how I'm trying to work this. So I'm going to do a video about that, probably just a short maybe. I've never done a short before to explain that, so be looking for that. So at any rate, Earl Wilson will be an A on this, as Clarke prefers left-handed pitching. All right, we get a 36, and that's a 33. The Tigers are a 2 defense. That's a Y, which Wilson is, so he starts the game off by striking out Clarke. So Horace Clarke has struck out for the second time so far this year, and this game is underway. 1 away for Kenny, playing center field today for the Yankees. He is hitting .357, so Yankees top of the lineup's off to a good start. Versus righties, he's a +1. That'll knock Wilson down to a 9, which is a C as in cat. 25 is a 10, and that's a single to center field. So line drive over the head of Wilson. He ducks, and Kenny is on with a 1-out single. He is a fast runner, so we will put him on first. All right, so that brings Bobby Mercer to the plate. He's hitting .273, a home run and 4 RBI. Again, you can see that up in the upper right-hand corner. The white is their real-life stats. Yellow is the replay stats. Red is the game stats for the game that we're currently in. Versus right-handers, he's a -1, which will move Wilson up to a B. And here's the pitch. 23 is a 27. That is the third baseman, who is a 5. That's Wirt. So they put him in the 1 column. So a 27 in the 1 column. He's not an X, so that's a ground ball to third. Wirt fires it on to McAuliffe, on to Cash, and an inning ending 5-4-3 double play. Out 5-4-3. So that'll do it for the Yankees in the first. Get this in my scorebook. 2 away. 5-4-3 double play. So they get no runs on a hit. Leave an error, or no errors rather. Leave nobody on. We've got a half an inning here. New York nothing. Detroit coming to bat. All right, leading off for the Tigers will be Dick McAuliffe, second baseman extraordinaire. Left-handed hitter versus righties is +2. On the mound for the Yankees is Bill Burback. And again, I didn't start following baseball till the 80s, so a lot of these names I know, but some of them I'm not familiar with the pronunciation, so please forgive me. I try to listen and watch and get the pronunciations as right as possible because I feel like it's important. But again, not having lived, been able to watch these guys, a lot of them, some of the pronunciations might be off. Feel free to chime in if you see me missing one. But again, forgive me. I'm doing the best I can. So again, anyway, Burback is a C with a W. He's a 9, so he's a high C. He does not have a home run adjustment. So versus righties, McAuliffe is a +2, so that'll knock him down to a 7, which will still be a C. As you can see, McAuliffe is off to an 0-8 start. He does have a walk. 24, and that's fastball on the outside corner. McAuliffe was not expecting that, it would appear. He takes it for strike 3. 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Shortstop Mickey Stanley due up next. He's 0 for 6, so the top of the Tiger lineup not doing that impressive so far. Versus a right-hander, he has no adjustment, so that will keep Burback at a 9C as in cat. 41, and that's a 24. That's a hard grounder to trash it short. He is positioned properly and makes the play for out number 2. Quickly 2 away here in the Detroit second. The Detroit Tigers are the reigning World Series champs as they defeated St. Louis in the '68 World Series. Al Kaline will step to the plate. He's 0 for 5, so it looks like nobody in the top of the lineup is off to a good start for the world champion Tigers. Versus right-handed pitching, he's a -4, so he prefers lefties, so that will move Burback to a 13, which is good enough for a B as in boy. Here's the pitch, 2 out, nobody on. 45, and he draws a walk, so that's the 4th walk of the year for Kaline. First one given up today by Burback. So they get a 2-out walk. Oh, I keep forgetting my initial thing here. Working on getting a routine here. It's taken a bit of time. So Kaline is a average speed, so he will be a yellow. Again, think stoplight. Red slow, yellow normal, green fast. So runner on first. Versus right-handed pitching, Cash is a +3. So he likes lefty, so that'll knock Burback to a 6, which is still a C. So here's the 2-out. 2-out, runner on first. Burback with the pitch. A 51 is a 9. He is a C with runner on first. That's a grounder, slap the opposite way to Bobby Mercer. He will have time to set and throw and get cash at first. And that will do it for the Tigers. So they get no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave one runner left on due to a walk. We've got one here in the books at Detroit. Beautiful Tiger Stadium. I was able to make one game there before it got tore down, so I was thankful for that. All right, we go to the top of the second. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Yankees. Leading off will be Roy White, left fielder. He's hitting .250 so far, as you can see, versus right-handed pitching. He is +1, so that'll make Wilson a 9, which is a C. Here is the pitch as he looks into the sign from Freehand. 35, and that's going to be a leadoff walk. So first walk of the day given up by Wilson. He has the Z modifier, so typically he has pretty good control, but loses White here. White is fast, so we will put him on first base with a green marker. That brings up Joe Pepitone. He's off to a bit of a slow start. 0.77, does have a walk. Versus right-handed pitching, he will add 2, which takes 2 from Wilson, which will make him an 8, which is still a C. Here is the pitch from Earl Wilson. That's 65. And that's going to be, he's not a W, so that's popped up back behind the plate in foul ground. Freehand will toss his mask aside and have plenty of room to put that away for out number 2. Or out number 1, rather. Now, I'm not doing the outs because you can see that on the scoreboard. Right up, let's see. Right up there, you can see they got the inning and the out, so we got 1 out. So Pepitone fouls out to Freehand for out number 1. That brings Trash. Trash had a 2 home run day on opening day. He's hitting .300 overall, a couple home runs, 4 runs driven in. Versus right-handed pitching, he's a -1, which will add 1 to Wilson, which will bump him up to the B as in boy range. And here is the pitch. We got 1 out. White on first. 23 is a 29. They are a 2 team. He is a Y, so that's going to be a strikeout. So strikeout number 2. Big sweeping curve there from Mr. Wilson. Trash takes it looking. I don't think he thought it was going to break that much, but it did, and he is called out on strikes for out number 2. Bill Robinson, future Pittsburgh Pirate, will step up to the plate next, right-handed hitter. He's hitting .167, which is about where his .171 real-life stats are. -7 versus right-handed pitching, so he prefers the lefties by quite a bit. That will improve Wilson all the way up to 17, which is A as in apple. So 2 out, runner on first, and I threw my first die in the floor. Grab my second one here, and here we go. 52 is a 27. That is the third baseman. And again, Wirt we've established is a 5, which is a 3. So he's not an X. So that's a ground ball hit hard down the line. Wirt backhands it as he was hugging the line. As Robinson's a bit of a pull hitter, and he will go the long way to first for out number 3. So that's it for the Tigers in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave a leadoff walk at first base. Go to the bottom of the second, still no score. All right. Due up for the Tigers in their half of the second is Willie Horton. He's scheduled to go first. He's hitting .250, couple doubles. Versus right-handed pitching, he is -3, so that will improve Burback to a 12B as in boy. Here's the pitch. 36, and he's going to get a leadoff walk. Now, Burback is a W, so He does not have great control. That's his second walk already of the game. See if the Tigers can capitalize on that. Horton is a slow runner, so he will get the red. Again, think stoplight. Red is slow, stop. And that brings Northrup to the plate. Versus right-handed hitting, he loses 3. So even as a lefty, he prefers lefties, which happens on occasion. So that will improve Burback to a 12, which is a B as in boy. Nobody out. He doesn't have that third 31, so I don't think we're going to try the hit and run. It's just let him swing away, see what happens. 61 is a 40. Again, they are a 2, and that's going to be a ground ball to the first baseman, Pepitone. He'll go to trash it short, but that's all they'll get as Horton comes in lumbering, and Trash not able to get the throw off. So that will be a fielder's choice, 3-6. 1 away. Northrup is a fast runner, so we will trade red for green. That brings up Freehand. He's hitting 286 with an RBI. Versus right-handed pitching, he is +1, which will knock Burback to an 8, which is in C range. Here is the pitch. 44 and 8 on a C. That's a single to center field. Hit pretty hard on the screws, so Northrup will not be able to, not going to risk it and go to third. So they got him on first and second. First base hit of the game for the Tigers. So get to our first and second chart here. So that will move Northrup to second. Freehand is average speed, so he will be the yellow. So got him on first and second. 1 out for Don Wirt. He's hitting 200 here early in the season. Right-handed pitching, he is a 0, so that will keep Wirt at a 9, which is a C as in cat. Here's the pitch. We're back in a bit of trouble here in the bottom of the second. 26 is a 32. Robinson out there is a 2. So 32, that's a fly ball to right field over toward the line. Northrup, who has fast speed, is going to try to go to third on the play. Risking making the third out at third, but he risks it nonetheless, and he slides in safe. So he will get the third, hit to right field. Freehand did not try to follow up to go to second, so he's still at first. So that's 2 away. Northrup over to third. Freehand still at first. And that brings the pitcher, Earl Wilson, to the plate. So 2 down, 2 on. Wilson hit 132 in real life, so not the greatest hitter ever. Versus right-handed pitching, however, he does have a +3, which will make a 6 out of Burback, which is still a C. So here is the pitch. Big at bat here. 31 is a 14. He is a W, so that's going to be a walk. So he walks the pitcher. Not what you want to do. To load the bases for the top of the lineup. Not what you want to do at all. But again, Burback has some wildness about him. So we got the bases loaded. Wilson is of average speed as well. So we got bases jammed. Dick McAuliffe looking for his first base hit of the year. He probably couldn't think of a better time than now to get it. McAuliffe rather, is a +2, so that'll make a 7, which is still a C out of Burback. He struck out in the first inning, so here we go. A big at bat here. The Tiger fans are on their feet, looking for some first inning or second inning runs here. And here is the pitch to McAuliffe from Burback. 36, there are 2, is a 33. And that's going to be a line drive hit down to first. Pepitone stabs it, and that'll do it for the Tigers in the second. So he hit it hard, but unfortunately right at Pepitone. And that'll do it for the Tigers. Excuse me. So they get no runs on one hit, no errors, leave the bases loaded. We've got 2 innings in the books here at beautiful Tiger Stadium. Still no score. All right, top of the third, we've got, excuse me a sec. Jake Gibbs, the catcher, will start off versus right-handers. He's a +1, which will make a 9 out of Wilson, which is C, as in cat. Here is the pitch. 63, and that's a line drive to center field. Northrup will take a few steps to left center field and retrieve it for the first out of the inning. That brings up the pitcher, Burback, right-handed hitter. A 100 average in real life, so he's not going to tear the cover off the ball, but you never know. Anybody with a bat in their hand can be dangerous. Versus righties, he's a +2, which will keep a C as Wilson's pitching rating. 15, and that's a 23. They are a 2. So that's going to, he's going to hit one out to Northrup. Northrup fumbles it. Lost it in the sun, perhaps, as we have a day game here, and Burback will be on first with an error. So Northrup commits the first error of the game for either team. Get that in my scorebook. E8. Okay, so that puts the pitcher on first. He is of average speed. Horace Clark struck out to start the game. Got one out. He has the 331s, but Burback is average speed. I think they're going to try something crazy here. They're going to try the hit and run, see what happens. Here is the pitch. 64 is a 12. A 12 on the hit and run is out at first, runner to second, so he hits a ground ball into the hole. McAuliffe ranges over to his left, fields it, and only able to get the runner at first. So at least the hit and run advances the runner. 4-3. So we're back the pitcher on second. 4-3 on Clark. Route number 2, that was a hit and run. I try to limit it to the hit and run because I've read where that it can affect the stats if you overdo it. So I try to keep each team to a maximum of 3 times a game. Usually it's only 1 or 2. But. All right, runner on second, 1 out for Kenny. He singled in his first at bat. He was erased on the 5-4-3 double play by Bobby Mercer to end the first. Versus right-handers, he is a +1, which will make a 9 SC out of Wilson. Here is the pitch. 34, and that's a fly ball to center field. Northrup is a 2 out there. He's going to see if he can make this one, and he does make this play. And Burback will hold at second. So that's actually the third out of the inning. I may have said there was only 1, but that was the third. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on. We go to the bottom of the third, still 0-0. Two, 3, and 4 due up for the Tigers. Mickey Stanley grounded out to short in his first at bat. With his split, Burback will stay a C as in cat. 62, and he strikes out. Another big curveball there from Burback. Stanley was bailing just a bit as a right-handed pitcher from a right-handed hitter from a right-handed batter. So he didn't look terribly impressive on that one as he swings late and comes up empty, 1 away. Second strikeout of the day for Burback. Al Kaline still looking for his first hit of the year. He had a decent year, not Al Kaline year, but still decent. He will improve Burr back to a B as in boy, as he prefers left-handed pitching. 26, and he strikes out. Nice fastball on the inside corner. Kaline let that one go by, thinking it was inside. The umpire said it was not, and there are 2 out here in the 3rd. Left-hander Norm Cash will come up to the left-handed batter's box with 2 out, nobody on. He is a +3, which will knock Burr back down to a low C as in cat. 35, and he draws a walk. So 2 out walk, 4th walk given up by Burback. Again, he is known to be a bit wild, and he is displaying that here this afternoon in Detroit. Norm Cash is slow. He will be on first with the red token. Willie Horton versus right-handed pitching is -3, so that will make a B as in boy out of Burback. Here's the pitch, 2 out, runner on first. 34, and that's a can of corn out to center field. Kenny will take a few steps to the infield, catch it chest high, and that'll do it for the Tigers. So neither team able to get much going here. They've both had some base runners. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on. The Tigers have left 5 on so far. Go to the 4th, no score. Bobby Mercer, 3rd hitter in the Yankee lineup, would lead things off. He hit into an inning double play, hit down to Ward at 3rd back in the 1st inning. And here is the pitch. Mercer's righties will make an 11 out of Wilson, which is a B as in boy. 31, and 9 on a B, and that's a slapped out over the head of Stanley. It'll drop in front of Horton, and Mercer is on with a leadoff base hit. He is fast, so we will give him the green as in go token. Nobody out. Man on first for Roy White. He does not have that extra 31. Mercer, again, is fast. So we'll go ahead and play it safe here. He walked in his first at bat. That's the only walk that Wilson has allowed so far today. 56, and he strikes out. Inside fastball. Wilson swings underneath of it, as it was a nice up and in fastball. 3rd strikeout of the game for Wilson. He gets that all-important first out of the inning. That will bring us to Joe Pepitone. He's a +2, so that will make a C and cat, as in cat, out of Wilson. Pepitone fouled out to the catcher in his first effort of the game. 62 is a 32. Line drive out to right field. Kaline out there, who is a fine fielder, will make that one with no difficulty. Mercer will retreat to first, and there are 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Now Kaline, in his elder years, still pretty good with the leather out there in right field. Tom Trash, Yankee shortstop. We'll see what he can do here with 2 out, runner on first. He will make an 11B, as in boy, out of Wilson. Wilson looks into the sign from Freehand. Here's the pitch. 41. That's a 28. 28 is the shortstop, who is a 7. Stanley is out there, which is a 3 column. But that's going to be a ground ball to short. He goes the long way to Cash, and that'll do it for the Yanks. Ground out, stay 6-3. Leadoff single, wasted. They've left 3 on so far. We go to the home half of the 4th, still no score. Sorry about that. Total mayhem is broken out in the arena. Again, when you're trying to work this out for YouTube, it can be a bit of a challenge. So things can be in the way. So, all right, we go to the bottom of the fourth. Go to our bases empty chart. Jim Northrup will lead things off. Again, he's looking for his first hit of the game. He hit the fielder, or first hit of the year, rather. He hit into a fielder's choice in his first at bat. He will -3, make a B as in boy out of Burback. And here is the pitch to lead off the bottom of the fourth. 22, and that's going to be a re-roll for Northrup. He gets a hanger. 34 is a 6, and that's a line drive out into right center field. Over the head of Clark, hit on the screws. Kenny or Robinson are not able to get to it. It'll roll all the way to the wall, and Northrup will slide into second, even though that was unnecessary for his first double and first hit of the season. Leadoff double. So the Tigers are in business here in the bottom of the fourth. Northrup is fast, so he gets the green on second there. Runner on second chart coming up. Freehan, who is singled in his first at bat, as the other Tiger hit today so far. +1, he will make an 8C out of Burback. C as in cat. Here is the pitch. Tigers looking to draw first blood here this afternoon. 64 is a 12. They are a 2, and that's a strikeout. Freehan overpowered with a fastball. Will be the first out of the inning. Fourth strikeout by Burback. Burback bringing the heat. Don Ward will take his crack at Burback here, trying to get Northrup in from second. He flew out to right field in his first at bat. Versus a righty, he's a 0, so 9 C as in cat for Burback. 64 again, and that's another strikeout. So Burback ate his Wheaties in between innings here, it would appear. That'll bring the pitcher to the plate with 2 outs. And poor old Northrup still on second base where he started the inning. That's a +3, 6, so a C for Burback. He walked his last at bat. Burback obviously would like to avoid that this time. 56 and a 34. And that's popped up on the infield. Clark will wave everyone off, and they will acquiesce, and that will do it. So the Tigers blow a good opportunity. Get a leadoff double by Northrup, and he is still there as the inning ends. So hit, runner left. We've got 4 in the books here in Detroit, still knotted at nothing. Got a pitcher's duel here going. 7, 8, and 9 up for the Yanks here in the top of the 5th. Robinson grounded out to Wirt in his first at bat. Again, not very good against right-handers, as he will add 7 to Wilson, which will make a 17A as an apple out of him. Here's the pitch. 43, 29, and that's bounced back to the box. Wilson stabs it, walks it over to first for out number 1. Jake Gibbs, rather. Joe Gibbs owns a racing a NASCAR team, or at least he used to. I assume he still does. But Jake Gibbs, the Yankee catcher, will hit here. +1, that makes a 9 C as in cat for Wilson on this at bat. He hangs one here. Let's see what Gibbs does with it. 63, and that's a high, deep fly ball to right center field. Kaline's there, or gets almost to it, but it'll hit the top of the wall just out of his outstretched glove. He gets to it quickly, throws into second base. Gibbs, who is of average speed, slides into second, and he is safe. So 1-out double for Jake Gibbs. He is, again, average speed, so he will be yellow on second. That brings the pitcher to the plate. Runner on second, 1 away, top of the 5th. Burback has a +2, so that'll be an 8C for Wilson. 2 out. And here is the pitch. 52-27. That's the third baseman. We've established that Ward is a 5, which is 3, so 27 in the 3 range. However, Wilson is a Y, so he strikes out the pitcher, Burback. Strikeout number 4 of the day for him, so Burback overmatched. Whiffs for out number 2. All right, 2 away. That brings the top of the order. Horace Clark. Again, he prefers lefties quite a bit, so he adds 6, which will make a 16A on Wilson. He has an apple, 2 out. Clark is 0 for 2 today. He grounded out to second on a hit and run back in the 3rd inning. 16-28. That's the shortstop, who is a 3rd column. However, he is a Y, and so he strikes out Clark in the inning. So strikeout number 5. And once again, double is gone to waste. No runs, a hit. They leave a runner on. They've left 1 runner on the last 4 innings. So we go to the home 5th. Nobody able to score here. Dick McAuliffe, top of the Tiger lineup, will start the 5th for the Tigers. He's 0 for 2. Let's see, +2 makes a 7C out of Burback. Burback been a bit wild, but he's been able to deliver when he needs to. 22's a 7, and that's a line drive in between Clark and Pepitone for a leadoff single. First base hit of the year for McAuliffe. He was 0 for 10 coming into that bat, so he's glad to get that monkey off his back. He is fast on the base paths, according to APBA's Brain Trust. All right, you got Stanley due up. He's got some power. He had 16 bombs, only hit 235. According to Stratomatic, he's a B bunter. The Yankees have the corners in, expecting a bunt. I think this calls for a decide or die. So, does he bunt? Yes. All right. Sometimes I use that if I can't make up my mind. So Stanley's going to see if he can lay down a bunt here. 31's a 14, and a 14 is going to be a walk. So he tries to lay down a bunt. Burback won't let him because he won't throw any strikes, and now they got him on 1st and 2nd. That is the 5th walk that Burback has allowed. I think he's a little normal than even his normal. A little wilder, rather, than his normal. So that puts him at 1st and 2nd. To our 1st and 2nd chart. Northrup is fast. I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong inning here. McAuliffe and Stanley both are fast. So they've got some speed on the base paths here, the Tigers do. Still nobody out. Al Kaline will take his crack at Burback. Let's see. All right, Kaline will take his cracks at Burback. He's a -4, which will add 4, which is a 13. So that'll improve Burback to a B as in boy. Nobody out. Runners on 1st and 2nd. And Kaline has walked and struck out today. The Yankee bullpen is stirring around out there. 62, and he strikes out. So how about that? Burback looks like he might come through again. Kaline fooled on a changeup that time. Swung over top of that one for out number 1. Norm Cash will make a 6C as in cat out of Burback. Cash is walked and grounded out today as well. Again, Tigers need some clutch hitting here if they can get it. That might be it. That's going to be a hanger. Norm Cash with a 35. That's a 2 and a C. That's going to be a home run except for the double column, which this was. So that moves down to a 5 with runners on first and second. And that's hit down the right field line. And it rolls into foul ground. Robinson running for it. McAuliffe will score easily, as will Stanley. Cash chugging around second, and he's looking for third. Here is the throw, and he is safe. First triple of the year for Cash. 35, make sure everything is accurate here. He's a C, that's a 2. Double column, you go to 5, and that's a triple to right field. So, big clutch hit here as the Tigers finally score some runs. First triple of the year for Cash. 2 RBI. That brings Willie Horton up. So they're going to give, according to Strat, Burback is tired, and I do take that into consideration. It's not a complete deal breaker, but I do take that into consideration. So definitely the Yankee bullpen is up and going. They've got the infield in here. There's 1 out. Cash on second is slow, or third rather, is slow. Oh, slow is red. My bad. Okay. The Tigers are not going to play it safe, so they're going to let Cash run as normal with the 2-run leads. Throw caution to the wind versus a right-hander. Horton adds 3. That's a 12B as in boy. So here's Burback trying to get out of this pickle without any further damage. 23 is a 27. That's the third baseman who... Mercer is not a very good 3, so 27th in the third column. That's going to be a ground ball to third, so Mercer fields it, looks Cash back to third, throws out Horton for out number 2. So Horton hit it in the wrong spot. Is Cash not able to advance with that one hit right in front of him. Out number 2. Jim Northrup. He is 1 for 2 with a double. -3 plus 3. That'll make a 12B as in boy out of Burback. The infield obviously back at normal depth with 2 away. Here's the pitch. 63, and that's lofted out to Kenny in center field. He shades his eyes from the sun and makes the grab to end the inning. However, the Tigers finally score some runs as they get 2 hits on 2 base hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner on. We go to the top of the 6th. The Tigers now up by 2. Two, 3, and 4 is up for the Yankees here in the 6th. Jerry Kenny is 1 for 2 today. This split will make a 9C as in cat out of Wilson. 35 is a leadoff walk. So that's the second walk that Wilson, again, normally has some decent control. Has given up 2 base on balls today. That'll bring the go-ahead, or the tying run rather, to the plate. Kenny is fast on first base. Bobby Mercer is 1 for 2, a single and hit into a double play. See, his split will make an 11B as in boy out of Wilson. Nobody out. They're not going to bunt here as Mercer is one of their best hitters. So here we go. Trying to avoid the double play, of course. 25's an 8, and 8B with a runner on first is grounded to the third baseman Wirt. Hit kind of slow, so his only option is going to be to get Mercer at first. 5-3, and Kenny will make it to second. So, in effect, a sacrifice bunt there. It works out the same. So 1 away. Kenny on second for Roy White. White is walked and struck out today. See, his split will make a 9, a C as in cat out of Wilson. Here is the pitch. 51's a 9, and again, he is a C, so that worked out well. The C is better than the B on this one, so that's grounded down the third or first base line. Hit hard enough that Wilson or Cash won't need Wilson's assistant. He takes it to the bag himself. Kenny will scoot over to third. So 2 out. Kenny on third. So at least they're advancing the runner. That's something. Joe Pepitone, the chance to drive in a run. Kenny on third, 2 out. Pepitone is 0 for 2 today. See, his split makes a 8 C as in cat out of Wilson. Infield back, of course, with 2 outs. 65 is a 35, and he's a Z, so that's going to be, there a 2. So that's a high fly ball. Popped up out toward shallow left field. Stanley, the shortstop, is waving everybody off, and Horton will concede, and he will grab it to end the inning. That's going to be a high pop out to short. Pepitone not able to deliver that time. No runs, no hits. They leave a runner on. Bottom of the 6th we go, 2-0 Detroit. Back to our bases empty chart. All right, so the Yankees at the bottom of the lineup going here in the, we got Detroit. Detroit's got the bottom of the lineup, 8, 9, and 1, or 7, 8, and 9 rather. The catcher Freehand will lead things off. Burback on his short lease here, as he is still pitching a decent game, especially, he didn't have a bad year, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner there. All right, Freehand will make an 8C out of Burback. Freehand has singled and struck out today. 46, and that's 27, which is the third baseman. He is not an X, so that's a ground ball down to Mercer at third. Not normally a great fielder, is able to make this play. Out number 1. Don Wirt, the third baseman, will step up to the plate. 1 out. It's a 0. That's a 9C on Burback on this one. 13, and that's yet another walk. That's the 6th by Burback given up today. First one for Wirt. Earl Wilson, runner on first. Let's see, Wirt is of average speed, so he will get the yellow token on first base. Let's see. Again, Wilson hit 132 there, as you can see. I think they're ahead by 2, so they're going to go ahead and let him hit away. So I don't see much point in sacrificing him to second with 2 outs. So let's see if Wilson can deliver here. He's a +3, which will make a 6C as in cat out of Burback. 61, and he strikes out. So overpowered with a Burback fastball. He becomes the 2nd out of the inning. That's the 7th strikeout for Burback. So 2 out. Runner on first for McAuliffe, who had his first base hit of the year and scored back in the 5th. See, his split will make a 7C out of Burback. Here is the pitch, 2 out, runner on first. 52, 27, and he's not an X, so that's, Mercer is a 3 column. So that's hit down to third. 52, 27 is indeed third, so he'll go the long way to first and retire McAuliffe to end the inning. Out, stay 5-3. McAuliffe, hoping for his 2nd hit of the year, comes up empty. They leave yet another runner on, so good job by Burback. Top of the 7th, 2-0 Detroit. Tom Tresh, again, 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Yankees. Tresh, -1, +1 will make an 11B, as in boy, out of Wilson. Nobody on base, obviously, here to lead off the inning. He struck out and grounded out to short so far. 46, 29. He's not an X, so that's a little number out toward the mound. Wilson will charge it, and make a nice scoop. Fires it to first and gets Tresh by a step. 1, 2, 3, 1 away. Bill Robinson is grounded out twice. Let's see, again, he does not like righties, so that will make a 17A as an apple out of Wilson here. 52-27. That's hit to the third baseman, Wirt. Makes a fine throw, a BB as it were, across the infield for out number 2. That brings the catcher Gibbs to the plate. He doubled his first double of the season back in the 5th, but was stranded there. Let's see. He will make a 9C, as in cat out of Wilson. 2 out, nobody on. Wilson throwing a shutout so far. 65-35, and that's a hard grounder down to Cash at first. He will have time to get to the bag himself to retire Gibbs to end the inning. 7th inning stretch time here in Detroit, as the Yankees go in order in the top of the 7th. Our trivia question: who holds the NL record for most consecutive errorless games by a catcher? That's a good question. So of the great catchers of all time, I'm going to try Ivan Rodriguez. It's probably somebody who's not even in the Hall of Fame, but we'll see what our answer is. Oh, Mike Matheny, 252 games, 2002 and 2004. So that's pretty impressive for a catcher. So Mike Matheny, good defender. All right, we go to the bottom of the 7th. 2, 3, and 4 are up for Detroit. Again, Burback, he's actually due to hit the next inning for the Yankees, so they're going to try to see if he can get through the inning. Again, on a bit of a short leash here, as he is running on an empty tank. Mickey Stanley has walked and scored in 3 plate appearances. He will make a 9C, as in cat out of Burback, and here is the pitch. Sorry about that. 43-29. Hard liner back to the box on a 1-hop. Burback fields it successfully and throws him out with plenty of room to spare. 1 away. It brings out Kaline, still looking for his first hit. He does have a walk, has struck out twice, however. Again, versus righties, he prefers lefties, so he will make a 13B as in boy out of Burback. 56-34, and that's going to be a Y, which he is not, so that's popped up on the infield. So Kaline at least made contact, but hits it straight up. Tresh waves everybody off, and we'll grab it for the second out of the inning, rather. Norm Cash, he's got the big hit of the day, a 2-run triple back in the 5th, his first triple of the season. He's a +3, which will make a 6C out of Burback. Burback trying to get through the inning here, as the 9th spot's leading off in the 8th for the Yanks. 15 is an 8C, and that's slapped to left center field. That'll drop between White and Kenny. Kenny will get to it first and throw it back in. 2-out single for Cash. So Cash having a good day as he collects his second hit of the game. All right, so you got the righty Horton, so they're going to let him do Horton. If you can't get Horton, they probably will go to the pen. They don't want this 2-run deficit to be any worse than it is. So Horton, -3, will make a 12B as in boy out of Burback. Cash at first is slow, so he will be red. Here is the pitch. 51-9 on a B, and that's going to be a little number down the third base line. Burback charges, Mercer charges, Gibbs out from behind the plate, and they will let it roll, and it stays in fair ground for an infield single. So, looks like a line drive in the box scores, as they say. That brings Northrup up. Oh dear, let's see. So let me pause the video while we look at our relief pitcher here. Okay, the Yankees did a double switch. They bring in Steve Hamilton to pitch and Fernandez to catch. So Fernandez will bat ninth and be due up next time. Hamilton is in the 8th spot. Hamilton is a B as in boy, XY. XZ that is. So he strikes out a bit and he has good control. Left-handed pitcher to face the left-handed hitting Northrop. So we got 2 outs. We got 2 slow runners on the base paths, and Cash and Horton. Go to our first and second chart. So versus lefties, Northrop is actually a little better than that. So he's 2-8. So that'll keep Hamilton at a C. 2 out. So for Northrop has a double in 3 plate appearances. So here we go. Big at bat here in the bottom of the 7th. 21, and that's hit the other way out to White in left field, and he will chase it down to end the inning. So nice job by Hamilton there to get the Yankees out of trouble. Fly out 7. So no runs, 2 hits. They leave 2 more runners on. They've left at least 1 on every inning this game so far. We go to the 7th. Detroit clinging to a narrow 2-run lead. I did check Frank Fernandez's fielding rating, and he had a 7, as did the catcher he replaced. So the Yankee defense will not be affected. Wilson throwing a shutout. We'll see what he can do here in the 9th. Again, Fernandez leading off. Is the new catcher in the 9th position versus a righty. He's +1, so that'll make a 9 C as in cat out of Wilson. Fernandez is hitting 1 for 4 with a double so far here in the early going. Top of the 8th coming up. 55 is a 9 and a C, and that's popped up on the infield. That's once again where the C was better than the B. Wirt waves everyone off, and he will play it with 2 hands, as they did in those days, for out number 1. Horace Clark came into the game hitting .500. He has proceeded to go 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. -6 versus a right-handed. That makes him a 16A as an apple. 1 away, nobody on. 34, and that's a fly ball to deep center field. Northrop retreats back, and at the warning track, he will take it for out number 2. So quickly 2 away in the Yankee 8th. That brings Kenny to the plate with nobody on, 2 away. He is singled and walked today. +1, 9. That makes a 9 a C as in cat out of Wilson here. 64, and that's grounded the other way to Wirt. He fields it on a hop, lobs it across the infield to retire Kenny and the Tigers, or the Yankees rather, in the 8th. So they go in order for the 2nd inning in a row. That's 9 in a row that they've retired, or that Wilson has retired. Has got in a bit of a groove, which is not good for the Yankees. Bottom of the 8th, Hamilton is going to stay on to see if he can keep the deficit to 2. He'll start with Freehand here. Freehand versus lefties is better than against righties. He's better against righties, rather, so he will tack 5 on to Hamilton, which will make him a B15, B as in boy. Hamilton did a good job of retiring Northrop to end the 7th. See what he can do here in the 8th. 16 is a 28, and that's hit down to the shortstop trash. He fields it up the middle, throws from behind second base, and gets Freehand by a step and a half. 1 away. See, I think I made that the wrong here. Again, trying to do this on camera is a bit of a difference than doing it by yourself. 1 out. Don Wirt, the Tiger third baseman, is 0 for 2 with a walk today. Versus lefties, he's -4. That'll make a 14 B as in boy out of Hamilton for this at bat. 36, 33. They are a 2. He is not a Y. He's an X. That's popped up on the infield. A little rainbow over to Clark. And he will take a few steps towards second and snag it for out number 2. Jam job there, as Wert's just able to hit it off the inner part of the bat. Little blooper out to Clark, 2 away. Earl Wilson will go ahead and hit. He's got a shutout going after all. Versus lefties, he's -6, so that'll be a 16A as an apple for Hamilton on this at bat. 21, and he whiffs. Nice fastball on the outside corner. Wilson doesn't even offer at it, and he will retreat to the dugout to grab his glove for the top of the 9th. All right, 2-run deficit here for the Yanks, seeing if they can pull it out. As RJL says, some 9th inning magic. Wilson seeing if he can get the complete game. Shutout. Will start. He's got 3, 4, and 5 due up, so he's got the heart of the Yankee lineup. Drink a little coffee. Need a little caffeine here for this excitement. All right. Mercer's 1 for 3 today. Hitting 286 for the year versus righties. -1, 11. B as in boy. Wilson will be on this at bat. 61. That's a 29. Hot smash back to the mound. Wilson grabs it in self-defense and has plenty of time to collect himself and throw to first for out number 1. Roy White 0 for 2 with a walk today. See, he will make a 9 C as in cat out of Wilson here. 1 out, nobody on, top of the 9th. Yankees down by 2. 53 is a 17, which is the right fielder. That's Al Kaline, who is a 3, which is the best you can be. So nice job by the aging Kaline. He chases that one down the right field line and right at the foul line, reaches out and grabs it for the out. So nice job by Mr. Kaline there in right field. Flashing some leather here in the top of the 9th. So the Yanks are down to their last out. Joe Pepitone. He steps in, hitting 0 for 3 today. 063 for the year. So he would like to get out of this slump here a bit. This early slump. So versus righties, he's +2. That makes an 8 C as in cat out of Wilson. Tiger fans on their feet. And here is the pitch. 35 is a 41, and that is hit back to the pitcher. Wilson knocks it down. He reaches for it. Pepitone chugging down the line, and Wilson throws it away over the head of Cash. And before Kaline can retrieve it, Pepitone is on second with a 2-base error. Let's make sure I got all my ducks in a row here. So we got Pepitone, 35-41, bases empty. Yep. And that's exactly what Wilson does. So a 2-base error puts the tying run at the plate and Tom Tresh. So the Tiger pitching coach is going to go out to Wilson to calm him down. Help him focus on this last out here. Tresh is 0 for 3. Pepitone is of average running ability, so he will be on second base. We got 2 out. Let's see. Okay. Here's Tresh. Again, the fans on their feet. Willing Wilson here to retire Tresh and preserve the shutout and the Tiger victory. 52-27. And that's hit into the hole. Wart cuts off Stanley. And the third baseman will fire on to Cash to retire the side. And the Detroit fans celebrate. That's a good one. Bit of a pitcher's duel there. check out our box score. So the Yanks go down in defeat, no runs, just 3 hits, no errors. The Detroit Tigers, they collect 2 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors. The winner will be Earl Wilson as he goes the distance, 9 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts for his first victory and shutout of the year. Burback, he takes the loss, pitched a fine game, 6 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs. He walked 6 and struck out 7. So obviously I'd say I always do a star of the game, and that would have to be Earl Wilson. Cash with that 2-run triple would certainly be a candidate, but when a pitcher pitches a complete game shutout, you kind of got to go with that. And Cash also had 2 hits, so every once in a while I'll do a but I tried very hard to keep it down to 1, so we're going to say Earl Wilson is the star of the game, and he will get a gift certificate to the Chuck House of his choice here in the Detroit area. All right, well, I appreciate it very much, as usual. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Feel free to leave any comments and suggestions that you think might improve the program and the broadcast. And, again, I will certainly take in consideration all the suggestions. And, again, I can't promise that I will do it, but I'd definitely like to know what you think. So once again, the Tigers are victorious. They go to 2-1. Yankees fall to 2-2, and 2-0. Detroit Tigers here at Tiger Stadium on April the 11th, 1969. And I will see you next time.